2.
Oh, right. We don't have an intro or anything anymore. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Last Light. I am your benevolent Dungeon Master Puck, coming to you live from Calgary, where the skies are Calgary and the beaches are also Calgary. Anyways,
I've heard that about Calgary.
It's not what I heard.
I'm joined today. I got all thrown off. I'm joined today by these intrepid explorers, these exciting settlers journeying across the treasured expanse, which I will now introduce in no particular order. Give me a break. I was not sleeping like 5 minutes ago. I swear to God. Okay. Starting with, he's just here to ask a few questions. We have Trafer Grok. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi. Happy to be here. Real lost. Hi, I'm Jonathan. Trafer, he, him. Swinging axes and kicking asses.
Also joining us, noted child prodigy and master negotiator, Shay is joining us today.
Oh, I thought that was the master negotiator, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
You negotiated the hostage situation.
That is true.
So
that is true.
Callbacks.
And now he's dead. Hi, guys.
It'll be fine, right?
It'll be fine. I'm Utsuhime, and I'm playing your high elf archaeologist of the group, Shayna Thalaris, or as everybody calls her, Shay. She's just happy that she was able to save V with her whip. That was a miracle in itself.
He is also happy.
And I apparently have a pamphlet on how to deal with the fact that, when you kill someone, how to deal with that mentally. So I'm really looking forward to reading that from beginning to end. That's going to be great.
So you've had a little murder.
A little murder. Negotiation to murder.
Absolutely.
What does that mean now for us?
Look, it went plain H real fast.
Things jump steps sometimes. Also joining us today, courtly debutante Miss Dulcinea.
Yeah, who went real quick to murder as well. Look, I know when talking will get me what I want, and I know when murder will get me what I want, and I know which ones will work fastest.
This is probably the right scenario. And of course, also joining us, Gaslight Gatekeep Girl Boss V, joining us today, and collector of mysterious swords.
Mysterious swords that are so fine and normal, actually. It's ridiculous how mundane and normal my sword is.
100%.
I'm Amelia Som. Most pronouns are fine. Same goes for V.
Last but not least, our guide in the wilds of the world, we have Merrick joining us as well. Hello, Merrick.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing to unalive people what gets in our way.
And there will be more people to unalive. But for now, when last we left our heroes.
Can I make a quick request there?
Oh, of
before
course.
we jump right into things? Would you mind explaining these little
talk
coins?
about tokens? Guys, sometimes during adventures, our heroes might require assistance. Whether it's a little re-roll for one token, or exchanging, what did we say, five tokens for a flashback. What is a flashback, Puck, you might ask? A flashback is a situation in which our characters desperately need to succeed. They can look to a flashback, a moment in the past where they have acquired certain skills or abilities that will push them forward into a success in the current situation that they are in. You ever notice how sometimes, like in anime, there'll be like the heroes like struggling against something and they'll like remember their friends or something. And then it's like, oh, now I have the power to succeed. It's basically that is what I'm getting at. And of
Uncle
course,
Zanzibar told you the secrets
Yeah.
to lifting racks.
exactly. Remember when Uncle Zanzibar told you those things? Thank goodness for Uncle Zanzibar.
Mhm.
Also, there is the chaos meter. And that fills up based on the things that when you give the players coins, I also get things. So, like, remember when you guys used to give the Dungeon Master ultimates? Remember when occasionally I would just like cash something in and do something weird? Well, that's what that's all about. Maybe it'll be good, maybe it'll be bad, but you take the rest and then you have the facts of life. Anyways, when last we left our heroes.
That song stuck in my head now, thanks.
You're welcome. I've got to go. When last we left our heroes, they had been tasked with a journey, an expedition across this newly discovered continent, this wild world known as the Treasured Expanse. They had set out on their journey, and the contest was tipped earlier than it was supposed to be. They were supposed to be given a head start. But undeterred, they set out on their journey and they hopped on a riverboat destined for the town of Haven's Gate. On the riverboat trip, they met a number of unusual settlers and interesting people on the boat. And they also encountered a whirling, swirling mass of vegetation that trapped their riverboat and very nearly consumed some of them. But through some quick thinking, they were able to defeat them. And some folks who maybe wanted to rob some people on the ship, some murder was laid out there. But they were able to find success and not die, which we're all happy about. And we now join our team on the river. Well, we'll say past the river. We'll skip ahead a little bit if you don't mind. But we join our team in the town of Haven's Gate, being welcomed almost immediately at the docks upon their arrival by a gnome gentleman, very well dressed with a fine hat and a nice black suit, accompanied by a number of much taller attendants, greeting you all at the docks when you arrive. Greetings, heroes.
Oh, I didn't know we were expected, and I wasn't expecting such a greeting. Well met.
Well,
I didn't realize we were heroes.
I would be a very poor governor if I were not to greet such prestigious guests in my town.
Didn't realize we were prestigious, but thank you very much, Governor.
I didn't realize you were the governor. Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you all. I suppose introductions are in order. I'm so used to my reputation preceding itself. I am Governor Kartwright Greams. Pleasure to meet you all. Of the Kartwright Greams River Shipping Company.
Awesome. So we were I lean over to Dulcinea. This is the guy we're here to meet.
I guess. DM, is it the guy it's been a while.
Yes,
who are we
is.
meeting here?
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry, we skipped a week.
Yes, Governor Gray.
This is the gentleman that you guys are here to meet.
Yeah, I think he's the guy we were sent to go find. So, hey, we're in the right place and we're expected. Great.
Right. So we can get moving.
I understand you had some difficulty along your journey. I hope no one was injured.
It wasn't that difficult. We did fine.
Nobody important. Trevor clearly has like his clothes are kind of like cut up from the brambles of the monster there.
Oh, I definitely mending and prestidigitated all of my clothes. I would offer to do the same for Trafer if we had time, but if we didn't have time, I'm doing mine first.
Oh.
Very well.
Shay looks visibly like nervous, like there's drops of sweat because she's thinking of who actually was injured, that she may have caused some injury.
Be puts a
Fatal
hand on
kind.
your shoulder. Yeah, just kind of like very reassuringly gives you like little back circles.
Thank you, V.
Killed the bandits though. They're not doing good. Like they're real dead.
Ah, then you have my thanks. Bandit crews have been a bit of a problem along my river ships these days. You have done me a great service.
Yeah. What's the deal with that? They seem to be under the impression that they were just gonna get some valuable stuff and pop out.
There have been some successful raids as of late. Most travelers are not as well equipped as you, I assure. But, either way, you have my deepest thanks for dealing with this threat. They were an ongoing thorn in my side. But
as Mercs kind of getting the wagon with meat attached to the front, like kind of off the cart, you can see him kind of grabbing onto Meat's harness and sort of like guiding him over. He says, "Yeah, I don't suppose your thanks has a dollar sign next to it."
straight to the point, I see. Well, not necessarily a dollar sign, but I have many other valuable things. Please join me in my estate. I have accommodations prepared for all of you.
Thank you. That's very kind of you. Can I insight check this dude? He feels smarmy, and I specifically want to see if he's like, if he's like lying about the thieves, or like if they were really a problem for him.
All right, insight away, please.
And I like to more or less kind of insight
13.
the town, the port situation. Like, what's the security situation here?
All right. So, Dulcinea, you notice that Mr. Kartwright Greams has a bit of a reputation for being a string puller, a bit of a political and corporate peace mover of sorts. And you're almost certain that when it was offered for you guys to have his free trip on the river, he was expecting you guys to befall trouble.
Yeah. That, he had a way to get rid of the bandits, but it was us. We're just people like us. Yeah.
You guys were the way to get rid of the bandits, and you did your job, and he's quite pleased. It's kind of the impression you get from him.
Pleased is good, though. Pleased is good.
But, Trafer, the security looks pretty good here.
Yeah, I got a 6. This is top notch. Everything's buttoned up and locked down.
Everyone is wearing regalia that has the symbol of the Kartwright Greams shipping company on it. And in fact, you notice that seemingly most of the town is kind of built around this company. The port that you guys are at is full of ship construction, boats coming and going, and people moving goods, cataloging, all that kind of thing that you'd expect to go with riverboat shipping.
And this company is associated with the Calgaran Empire?
Yes, this is a part of the Calagarn Empire. He's not a satchel seat, but he made some powerful moves to acquire exclusive shipping rights over the rivers of the Treasured Expanse.
Okay, I'll be dropping back to talk to V, but somebody was going to say something.
Oh, I was just going to ask, could you remind me the name of this town?
Sure, this is called Haven's Gate.
Haven's Gate, thank you.
Absolutely.
Excuse me, sir. Were you acquainted with a Clint Wellsby, by chance?
Never heard of the fellow.
That's what I thought. And then she takes out her notebook, and she's still writing the scathing letter of her evaluation of this this Wellsby's work with the company?
We have had some issues with some stowaways on our ships as of late. So if you encountered somebody who is not who they say they were, I hope you dealt with them fairly.
Yes, some crooked business person who said that they were doing deals here in Haven's Gate with your farmers.
Goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You must be careful for crooked business people. There are many out here in the Treasured Expanse. You cannot trust everyone you meet. This
I'm learning that
come
quickly.
to my estate. I trust it will be a lesson hard learned, friends.
Well, I think it was a lesson for him. He is no longer breathing.
Ah, then you taught him fairly. And he leads you guys through the town to another luxurious house. And coming off of your trip in Light's Watch with the unusual and eccentric Mr. Governor Rusty Ragland and his sparsely furnished home, the home of Kartwright Greams is opulent and beautifully furnished. You come in and there are long red rugs down the staircases. There are a number of household staff working about, keeping the place tidy. All of them are very well kept, tall, very attractive people. It's a very slick operation that he has going in his place. And as he welcomes you guys into a foyer, immediately in front of the doorway is this enormous wooden carving of a ship moving across breaking waves filled with treasure and goods, and its crew moving about on it. Welcome to my humble home.
I think kind of like as we're making the way here and being shown around, we'd drop back and try to talk to V. So what can we get out of this guy to kind of give us an edge?
Well, he's with the trading company, so I assume goods. I'm not sure what in the way of intel he would have. I would also be surprised if he wasn't in some way sponsoring either our group or another. So if he wants something from us, we should leverage that to get something from him. And if he doesn't want something from us, we should figure out who he's actually backing.
This place seems pretty buttoned up. It looks like we're gonna have to negotiate for whatever we're looking for out of here. So yeah, if we can get a sense of whether he's really backing us, is there anybody that we should talk to while you kind of like while you hobnob him or whatever your plan is around here?
Can I like roll something for that to see like if I would know any like sort of power structure, or like if going directly to him, or if there's like a secretary or someone who I should go through to actually get to him?
Like, are there any like grunts that have like insider knowledge that I can kind of chat up while you're dealing with the brass?
Yeah, who's a scheduler?
A history check with advantage. Give me a corporate history check.
Corporate history.
Add your corporate skill.
How's your corporate skill?
18.
Ooh, 18 is solid.
Unless I'm proficient in corporate.
I mean, I'll stick with you. I mean, roll with advantage, so give me another one just in case.
Oh, that was with advantage. I did it.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
D&D Beyond, if you like click the advantage thing, sometimes it does it, but it rolled at 11 and a 14, so 18.
Very well, 18 it is. So, with your 18, you know that Mr. Kartwright Greams is not a satchel seat, so he doesn't have that kind of sway in the Caligarn Empire. However, he is almost as wealthy as some of the satchel seats. His growth and power and influence has been meteoric since the settling of the Treasured Expanse, and he has in fact pulled one over on Felix Brinesail, who operates the shipping out of the Treasured Expanse, who originally wanted the riverboat shipping rights, but Kartwright Greams beat him out for it with a number of clever moves and making the right deals with the right people. He only ever negotiates himself in person or through magical illusions. Anything that you want from Kartwright, you deal with him, but he is known as a very shrewd negotiator. Your boss has a distinct interest in him because he upsets the balance.
He will not be an easy person to get to, or to get what we need. So we'll need a plan, and we'll need to bring our A game. I'm not always great at the interpersonal things. When I need things from people, usually I'm just kind of mean to them. So it might be, I think Dulcinea would probably be a good go-to here.
I will say, Shay, while this is happening, this conversation is examining all of the fine furniture and maybe even pulling out some of her carpenter's tools to kind of take a look at the different engravings and different detail work of what's going on,
What
if
I'm
that's
hearing,
possible.
Very well.
what I'm hearing here is, I'm gonna take the night off. You go ahead and let me know if you need anything. Merrick.
Yeah. You can see that Marek's kind of like chewing on his fingernails, like as he's just like waiting for all the talking to like, it's like, yeah. Oh no, you're gonna help us. Yeah, all the stuff you're gonna. He's like picking out his fingernail and then he's spitting it on the ground, like.
There's like an attendant that follows Merrick around cleaning.
You want to go check out the amenities here?
Yeah.
Just as
Yeah, that
he's
sounds like
looking
it's
uncomfortable in the space.
yeah, you
I'm
know,
already sick of it.
yeah, no, it's just sort of saying that. Yeah, I'm sure the amenities are really nice. We'll catch up with you. The cart's parked outside, and Meek will keep a watch on it. You need anything? Yeah, Meek'll help you out. I'll give. I want to give my meat whistle, which is like kind of like one of these like thin whistles. I'll give it to Dulcinea.
Thank you.
I want it to be a hot dog.
Tiny little
Jerky.
It's like the Oscar Mayer wiener. Like it's like a tiny
Yeah,
Oscar.
meat
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of just like look it over. You know, yeah, that tracks, and I'll put it in my pocket.
Alright. As the two of you depart, Mr. Kartwright, Governor Kartwright, you'll well forgive the additional security. My men will all be watching you. I had some issues as of late with my previous visitors. One can never be too careful.
Well,
Frankly, I appreciate it. Is there anywhere to kind of just relax, get some rest in before we get headed out?
Of course. My attendants will show you to your accommodations. In the meantime, Lady Dulcinea, I believe we have much to discuss.
of course.
All right.
Yeah.
Marek will follow the attendant, and as the attendant's like, you know, kind of doing their thing, I imagine they're like trying to grab his bag, and Marek's like, "You want to keep all your fingers? You keep your hands off that, eh?" As
Stop spitting.
Yeah.
But does anybody like try to take our weapons or anything?
No, they don't take your weapons. You just like everywhere you go, people are watching you
Alright.
closely.
Interesting.
They knew about what we already did on the boat. This is not a surprise that they're watching us. Like, yeah, Dulcinea put this one together that like they knew we were coming before we got here and welcome and thanked us for it. So like, of course they're looking.
All right. So, Governor Kartwright offers to bring you guys into his office to have a bit of a discussion about your expedition. He offers it up to Dulcinea and anyone else who wishes to join her.
I'd like to go as well.
I would like V to go as well. I distinctly make eye contact with V, and I'm like,
All right. And Shay, you're examining the furniture and things.
And also, too, if there's anything that looks like it's something that is dated or antique, like she's examining all of the different fixtures and everything, just to see what he actually has a hold of. For
Give
reasons.
me a perception check.
All right, let's see here. That's a 17.
All right. So with your 17, much of what he has in this place seems to be made out of raw goods from the Treasured Expanse. And that tracks with most people. Sculpted and carved goods from the Treasured Expanse are a huge business these days. You come across a glass case in one of the hallways. In the glass case are a couple of unusual items. There is a metal piece. It's not expanse steel, but it's almost leaf-shaped. It has 2 points and then a large triangular point up the center. The metal appears to be covered with some black, scaly corrosion covered in white speckles. And it's clearly broken off at the end, like it was part of a larger piece.
Is this locked?
It is locked.
Are there people that I could see with that perception nearby?
There are a lot everywhere. Every time you look in a direction, someone is staring back at you.
Okay.
Either down the hall or uncomfortably close.
Okay. Is this something that, from the way that it looks, this metal, something that maybe clicks as far as just kind of like maybe that just like how that's described, how you just described it, something that might remind her of some type of metal that she's seen on a site, anything like that?
It reminds you of an arrowhead, but it's too large. The corrosion is the most unusual part. You're not familiar with any metal that corrodes in this way.
Shay is going to, since basically she knows that people are watching right now, she's not going to go with her first thought, which was to open said case. Instead, she's going to take out her notes, and she's going to kind of draw a quick sketch of the piece, but then also to making notes of that for later, and where, like, obviously where it's located in the hall for reasons.
Very well. Are you going to continue to explore after this?
Yes.
And see what else you find?
Yeah, so she kind of wanders off where everybody else is kind of, either going with the governor or elsewhere. She's still looking for these objects that are now, like, sparking her interest.
Very well. So, V. Dulcinea, you guys are invited into Governor Graham's office. He has this beautiful carved wooden desk. The edges of it look like breaking waves carved in the wood. And the top is covered with a number of unusual items, shiny rocks, particularly stylish polished pieces of driftwood, small animal skulls and the like. And he's got a number of books and paintings laid out in this place. He walks up and climbs into a very large, opulent office chair and kind of sits before you, tenting his fingers. It is a pleasure to meet you all. I was very excited to hear about the expedition, you understand. Exploration and trade are hobbies of mine, and of course good business.
It seems like you've done well for yourself out here. I can understand your interests then.
Indeed. Nothing moves through the Treasured Expanse that doesn't come through my ships.
You must be backing a team in the contest then. It seems like everyone out here has some interest in someone.
Certainly. And I am backing a few. I must confess, I was there when the leak happened.
Understandable. Someone with your business savvy, I would expect to know what's about to happen before it happens.
Yes, the prince was here. He came to my home looking for assistance, you see. Of course I gave it to him. That is only good business. But I didn't give him everything he wanted. I admit he was quite cross with me when he left.
Cross? Why? Just because he didn't get his way?
I held him and his people up an extra day. There was an accident on the grounds.
An accident or an accident?
A murder.
Still,
One
the
of my
question
staff.
still stands, an accident or an accident.
Intentional. But we have lots of such accidents out here in the Treasured Expanse.
Yeah, I'd like to cast Detect Thoughts.
Classic Dulcinea.
Yeah, look, you won't know unless I probe him deeper. So I would like to, through the minute of conversation that we can have, I'd like to get the surface level of his thoughts as we're talking.
All right. Surface level of his thoughts?
Yeah, about this murder.
For surface level of his thoughts about the murder is, it's because the prince was here.
Interesting.
Of course, I couldn't let anyone leave until I had uncovered the culprit. So I had to hold the prince and his entourage for a few days, along with a few other visitors.
Understandable. I'm sorry you lost one of your attendants.
It is unfortunate, but there are many coming to the Expanse every day.
Sure.
One cannot weep for everyone lost.
Yeah, go ahead.
You mentioned that despite the prince staying several extra days, he did not quite get everything he asked for.
Yes, he wanted many things from me, rolling in here with demands.
It's a
Thinking that I...
What's the surface level thoughts thinking about the demands?
Surface level thoughts about the demands are he wanted ships and personnel and supplies. And the surface level thoughts is he thinks the prince is an absolute fool.
Okay, good. Love this spell.
He, of course, is certain that this expedition will be his rocket to greatness. Personally, I don't think he'll survive the journey.
What do you think this expedition could be for you? You said you're backing several teams.
Certainly not for me. I am not the kind of person who goes and dirties his hands with this kind of things right away. I have other people for that. People that I can trust, and people that I know that are capable.
Well,
I imagine you have guessed at this point, but I knew you would encounter some resistance on the ship. That is why I offered it to you.
Well,
I think then, if you've seen what we can do on the ship, and given your dealings with the prince, I think you could give us a better deal than you cut him. Because I don't think we're as foolish as he is.
I would also like to add that it seems that we have come in here doing you a great favor that it would be very kind to repay.
Indeed you have, and I do intend to repay it. But I have other ambitions, and I'm wondering if you might hear them.
I am always game to hear people's ambitions. What can Saskatoon do for you?
I'm so glad to hear that you're willing to discuss these things. The river trade is something that I wish to hold on to. Certainly with these newly explored lands, there will be new waterways, new passages, and of course, a new outpost upon the successful completion of the expedition. This new outpost, of course, should have exclusive shipping rights with the Kartwright Greams shipping company, I could imagine. And as the folks who will be completing this expedition, I believe that decision will be firmly within your grasp.
Should be easy enough. What is it worth?
Well, certainly I would put my backing behind you and my assistance, as well as my information.
Specifically what? Do you think we need a little more information on what exactly you could provide?
The rivers are the arteries of this world. Not only goods, but knowledge and stories are what pass through here. I know many things, and my ships can get you further along your journey with great speed. I can also offer you a substantial stock of supplies for your journey. I think this is a fair deal. As far as my extra information, well, I would need to have your assurances before I could provide it.
I think me and my friend and associate would need to discuss with each other, make sure that it's fair. I think you can understand why.
Of course. I understand completely. Certainly someone as prestigious as you, Lady Dulcinea. And, of course, the company Fae. The high seat of the Golden Satchel. You are shrewd negotiators. Of this I am certain. I will leave you to discuss it.
May I ask one question before we split up?
Of course.
Someone like you out here has to have competition. If we throw in with you, who else would be gunning for us then because they don't want to see you succeed?
Mr. Brinesail. He is most upset with me ever since I stole the rivers from him. But he cannot live without me.
What does he do?
He operates the outward shipping on the coast of the Treasured Expanse. Anything that leaves the Expanse for Calagon or Saskatoon comes through him. And he cannot get those goods without my waterways. So,
Do you think he might
we are in
cause?
impasse.
Do you think he might cause problems for us, though?
He would be interested in a hostile takeover of me. If you're not familiar with how such things are done in Calagon, occasionally it can be a bloody affair. But I am confident in my security detail.
Glance to V at the bloody. Is he backing a team?
You get the impression that he's probably backing several. This
Smart.
seems like a gentleman who hedges his bets.
Yeah. All right. Well, V, I'm satisfied with what's been laid at the table. If we can discuss anything you would
Good.
like to add.
Not at all. It is a pleasure doing business with you.
Of course. And my friends, you are safe on my grounds. But do keep your ears open and your eyes wide. Some people are uncomfortable with these peaceful times.
Did they ever catch the murderer?
Yes, we did.
Well,
They
then
have been dealt with.
That's all the assurance I need to know that it's very safe here then. You dealt with it swiftly, and I commend you.
Thank you. I try to run a tight ship. Please enjoy my amenities and your room, and excuse my security detail.
Of course, it's very understandable. Thank you.
And he leaves you guys. The door just kind of opens to the office as he remains in the chair.
Yeah.
V, what languages do you speak that aren't common?
I'm so glad you asked.
I'd love to have a conversation that at least some people can't hear.
Do you speak Sylvan or Infernal?
I do speak Infernal. I say an Infernal.
All right. Well, there we go.
Of course, other people might speak Infernal. It is one of the bigger languages, but
Yeah. As
it's less
we're
common than common.
heading out to a place to talk, I assume.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic. I assume we're not gonna have the meat of the conversation just till then.
So, as you initiate detect magic, this house is magical AF, yo. The carpet has an enchantment on it The paintings have enchantments of scrying on them. Some of the sculptures have enchantments of listening.
Do you want to go for a walk?
That would be lovely. We just spent so much time cooped up on that boat that it's so nice to be somewhere very civilized and off the water. And yeah, I'll take a stroll.
All right. So while you guys stroll outside, Trafer and Merrick, where have you guys decided to head off to in this lavish mansion?
Well, what was so they showed us to our accommodation. What's the accommodation situation?
The accommodations are several well-laid-out rooms along the second floor hallway. Down the hall, you can see there is a tower-like room. It appears to be a library. And then you also noticed on the way up in the lower levels on the right side, there appeared to be a series of servants' quarters and kitchens.
Yeah. I think Trevor kind of sticks his head into the room. And what's Merrick like? Is Merrick stressed out? He seemed like he was a little stressed out. What am I getting from you, man?
You'd probably see that Merrick doesn't trust. The more money you have, the less you know about the wild, is Merrick's kind of go-to. This guy is, in his mind, like one of these people who have all the answers to something that has none. And, you know, it's always like, I've got just what you need. And it's like, no, you've got just what you need. And what you need is me. And he's, you know, like it's almost like he's heard the spiel before. He's heard this, you know, like the promises of riches and gold, and Marek, you know, like, and you'll actually probably notice this specifically about Marek. Marek has never actually once brought up or been interested in like the idea of wealth. Even when he left the ship, when he asked, like, you know, I suppose your request doesn't have a dollar figure to it. That you can kind of get the impression that that's Marek's like kind of usual, like, yeah, rich people stay rich by not giving what they have, and you know, that was a judge. That wasn't a hey, pay us. That was a you know, what's this guy's character like? Is this guy someone who's going to help us out, or is this guy someone who's going to use us to help them out? So Marek's kind of uncomfortable. He doesn't want the staff touching anyone's bags. He, you know, once he gets to the room, you can kind of see that his eyes are kind of like darting around, like, you know, like Merrick doesn't have much in the way of magic, like a little bit maybe here and there, but he's like, you know, checking under beds and looking in plants, and, you know, like kind of like, you know, that super paranoid like guy who's just rocked up at a motel, like, the walls have ears, man, like, you know.
Yeah. So, but he seems a little sketched out. He seems a little uncomfortable here. I think it's probably the extent of what Trafer picks up.
Yeah, highly suspicious is probably the...
Yeah, as we kind of get up and they show us the first room. Like, oh, hey, Merrick, check out this room, man. This is it's quite the digs.
Yeah, really nice.
Kind of
tall ceilings.
I know, man. Yeah, I know. Look, it seems like an unnecessary stop, but honestly, I think we're in for more of a marathon than a sprint, you know, and I think an ounce of preparation is worth a pound of perspiration, right? That's the thing that, I don't know, my grandmother used to say that. And hey, you know what? Last chance at civilization before we head out, right? Hey, and I'll turn to whoever's like the nearest staff member. Is there anywhere that plays like, where you get like live music, that sort of thing?
The person that you yell to is a very slight, dark-haired woman wearing a maid's outfit. And she kind of turns around. You like music?
Yeah, I don't know. We're just like last chance to sort of, you know, tear it up. Gonna hit a party with other people before we head out into the woods.
Some of the staff like to have parties near the kitchen. There's a small outdoor area. We've put a number of seats and an open fire.
Oh, yeah?
We do like to gather out there. You're welcome to join us.
Yeah. Like kind of sort of tearing it up, dancing. It's not like a tavern in town or anything.
There are taverns in town, but I assure you, we have finer, more expensive drinks here.
I mean, I don't know. Well, yeah, let's check it out.
Of course.
Marek,
I'd be happy to
Marek,
have
see-
you.
Marek sees Trafer like being super friendly with the staff. Marek sort of behind Trafer's back while he's like kind of talking to them. He's just sitting there, just kind of eyeballing the staff member. But then when Trafer turns around, he's all like,
Yeah.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
Before you guys depart, she kind of leans in close and she says, I hear you and your friends fought a monster on the river. Is that true?
I mean, I guess. At what point does it go from beast to monster? Like, what's the cutoff?
I really don't know. I'm not an adventurer. I suppose it would be up to you to make the distinction.
Sure,
So,
yeah, a monster. It ate me for a brief period of time.
But news travels quite fast, for the fact that we just got off the boat where that happened, and suddenly the staff here at this place know about us getting rolled by a giant monster.
Well, everybody's talking about the adventurers who slew a monster on the river. You're the talk of the town.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Everyone
you
will
know-
be very anxious to hear your stories.
I don't know if we're really looking to regale with stories tonight. I think we're kind of looking to relax. Some music to drown out our thoughts would be, I think, welcome around this time. Wouldn't you say, bud? And he slaps
Yeah.
Merrick on the back.
Yeah, some music or something.
Of course, we won't press you. If you're just here for a good time, we know how to have that for sure. And she kind of hands you a little piece of paper with directions through the mansion on where to arrive for the gathering. And as she hands it to you, I would like you both to make a perception check.
All right. Hey, a 15. It's pretty good with my -1 modifier.
Not
17.
Bad, not bad. So you guys both see just up the cuff of her sleeve. She has a tattoo, and it appears to be the tail of a serpent coiled around her wrist. It goes further up, and you can't see it. But you see that just peek out from her clothing as she hands over the piece of paper.
Does that mean anything to me?
Do a history check.
Likewise, doesn't mean anything to.
Absolutely, you may.
Oof. That's not
That's
a
an
good roll.
8.
That's an 8.
Now, it doesn't mean nothing to you.
It's a 16 for Marek.
Merrick, with a 16, it is said that the espionage branch of the Caligarn military organization known as the Chimera is known as the Serpent Sting. And they tend to identify themselves with snake tattoos.
I don't draw attention to it. I'll wait for this person to leave, and I'll have a look at the note before I put it away.
Very well. The note has directions through the servants' quarters and to an area outside the pantry of the kitchen.
All right. Now, do the espionage division, are they like, how can I put this? Are they like fixers? Do they like make problems disappear kind of espionage, or is it like the spy kind of like James Bond espionage?
A little bit of everything. They're military contractors that specialize in information trafficking, assassinations, disruptions, those kind of things.
Cool. I will take very careful note of the appearance of this particular staff member, like, hair color, height, weight, size, like just Marek's usual, like, when you're looking at an animal, you're kind of like sizing it up. So I'll
All right.
just get all that information. Then when the doors closed, he'll say, hey, listen, Trafe, you know much about the Chimera Order, or what was it? It was the
Chimera and the Serpent Sting.
Chimera and the Serpent Sting.
I don't know much about mythological bestiary. Some say that the chimeras are a real thing. Others say that it's just a kind of a crypto.
No, not the actual creature, but like
No.
Like, have you heard of like a division in the army that Look,
I don't know
I
much
think
about anything having to do with militaries or secret branches or something, but what I know is I'd love to dive into a hearty crowd right now. Don't you think a nice room full of people making noise would be a great place to hang out at the moment?
Yeah, and you know what? We should probably get Dulcinea, Shay, and V with us, as well. Like, and go and find a nice crowded place together. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure they can meet up with us. I'd kind of like to not be too concerned about work tonight. Don't you think we should just kind of relax for the evening?
I want to insight on Trafer at this point, because this is
what's
more.
he trying to put across?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also. I mean, like, I think Marek's doing it mostly because he's like, "Are you one of them?" Would be a shame if the blue flounder rained in from the sky.
Dude, don't do that. Don't do that. Fucking.
Okay, sorry.
Shit
Just
right
had to-
now, man.
I have to check, man.
Yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair.
just don't, man. Just don't.
All right. That's only an 11 for the insight.
Should
All right,
we rolling something against this? I'm trying to.
Well, I mean-
I'm trying to like wink at him hard, assuming there's eyes everywhere. So without.
Marek
winking-
hasn't winked in a long time.
So I don't know. Let's try a performance. My performance is only a 7, so maybe I'm too obvious. I don't know.
You get the impression that he just really wants to, like, he feels like it'd be safer in a crowd.
Okay, yeah, I get that. I get that impression too. I agree. We should go. I more meant, yeah. Marek will, because Marek doesn't carry much luggage. But is there like a lock on the room or anything like that?
Yeah, there are locks on the rooms.
Cool. I'm gonna lock this room, and then what Marek's gonna do is I'm going to use some of the twine I've got to basically create a 3-way trap. So I want to tie a bit of twine around the handle of the door, and then put it into the door as it's closing. But then I also surreptitiously want to put another very, very small piece of twine between the door at the feet, like right at the bottom, just where it is. So basically when someone opens the door, they're likely to see that first trap and like try to reset it. But the second trap is less likely to be noticed because of that first decoy one. And if the string is on the floor, someone's been in our room.
Very well. Trap is set. While you guys go about that, Shay, as you continue to search the grounds of this lavish governor's estate, you come across a room filled with parchment.
Oh, Shay's gonna be like just a magnet, just like drawn to the parchment.
And as you get into it, it appears to be a collection of drawings. And they appear to be depictions of landscape throughout the treasured expanse that have just kind of been gathered and collected here. And they're sitting in cases and in frames and in books and things all kind of throughout this display room. Who has the dagger that was pulled from one of the... Okay.
Not me.
I'm pretty sure it's me. It's the skull one, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Me.
Oh, okay, sorry. I have the dragon
Short
tooth
sword?
dagger.
Yes,
I have
you
the spooky one.
Yeah, you
We
have
all
the
have
talking
daggers.
sword.
Not me. Darn.
Oh, we
no
gotta get you some daggers, bro. Oh God, we're gonna get you some daggers.
Oh my goodness.
Shay, as you look
Mhm.
over this, there's a lot of standard stuff: mountainous terrain, flowing rivers, enormous glaciers, the kind of things that you know. And then you see some stranger ones. You see what appears to be a huge overgrown cave covered in moss, and it's in the shape, it looks very distinctively like the open maw of an enormous dragon back with the empires. But no one has ever seen any dragons in the Treasured Expanse. It's thought that they do not come here.
Okay. And is there anything as far as labels or any type of writing on these different parchment papers to kind of distinguish them apart?
There are
Tell
no
where they are.
labels.
None at all.
None at all. And as you look through it further, you see another drawing of what appears to be a large gateway. And standing at either side of the gateway appears to be giant-sized figures wearing loose-fitting cloaks hanging around skeletal frames with large toothy skulls barely visible over a long hood. And they appear to be clutching staffs of some kind, as though they're standing guard over this enormous gate. The drawing makes it look like they're carvings of some kind, but it's difficult to say from the picture.
Okay. And does Shay make a connection with, I know that there were people on the ship wearing certain like long robes. Like I think even Clint may have been. Did they look similar?
Not like this. These look very wizardly with these robes and these depictions. However, the creatures appear to be dead or undead that are standing before this gate.
Interesting. And they're as large, basically, that's why it looks like it's a carving, because it's not like humanoid size. It's like large to fit that.
If they were living, they would be set into the walls of the frame of this arch. But it's difficult to tell from the drawing. Whoever the artist was, they certainly did their best, but it's still a bit crude.
And is there anyone in this particular room or area?
There are some attendants tidying up the place and taking care of things as you look through it.
Okay. Do I see anything else as far as just not only the parchment, but maybe if there's like books or anything like that text-wise?
No books, just a lot of parchment, some pieces framed, some pieces in cases, some pieces in like open books on tables that have been pressed.
Shay, because Shay, is going to try to duplicate these drawings. Because even though, she's not really doing anything wrong, right? She's just drawing. So she's going to attempt to try to, especially with the one with the carving. I don't know if I'll have to probably see if I need to sneak this, but she's definitely going to pull out her tools in order to basically try to duplicate this as best as she can.
While you're duplicating it, you hear the governor. Do you like that piece?
Oh, it is quite marvelous and very unique.
Yes. I collect these images. People see things out on the river, you see. Some of them like to try and draw the depictions, closest thing to cartography we have on the regular journeys.
I try my hand at that as well, as you probably notice that I'm doing right now. And then she's like,
Of course.
kind of like you see the beads of sweat return to her face. I'm an amateur at best, but you know, one must work on their skills and perfecting them, right?
Of course. There is no need to worry. You're welcome to it. You may make a copy, but I wish to keep the original.
Oh, I wouldn't dare take something that is not mine. May I ask who is the artist or where this was drawn?
A traveler. Went along the river up into the fickle tundra, close to the glaciers.
Interesting. There seems to be a lot of action in the tundra.
Yes, it does seem that the land becomes more alive and more not the further north you go. But, then again, who's to say that these depictions are not the outcome of a tortured mind? Not everything I acquire is so realistic. Some of these things, one hopes, come from a dark imagination.
In that moment, Shay wants to activate her detect magic on the parchment.
All right. There is nothing magical about the parchment.
Okay. Is there anything on the governor that is magical?
The governor is wearing at least 8 magical items. When you cast your detect magic, he is practically glowing. You almost have to avert your eyes slightly.
You know, they say there's a fine line between genius and insanity.
Of course. May I show you one that is particularly disturbing?
Lead the way.
And he walks up to one of the cases and reaches down and pulls open a hidden drawer. And then sets a book up onto the counter where you can see. And he's just flipping through it. And the drawings are very rough, thick black lines like they were done frantically with a piece of charcoal. And they all be of jagged, screaming, obscure faces. Not like a human face, not distinct, but a series of jagged misshapes that eventually coalesce into an unusual, screaming face. And there's a couple of them, and they're all very similar. And then he opens up to the final one that he wants you to see. And the jagged lines, these thick charcoal marks, it takes a little bit looking at them, but eventually it looks as though half a dozen creatures with wide, jagged eyes screaming and reaching towards the one drawing.
And the creatures look like anything she may have seen in other textbooks or anything like that?
They look like nothing you've seen before. They look like spirits or ghosts of some kind, like some kind of twisted spectral abomination.
Quite disturbing indeed. And where was this found?
Travelers moving up north. Town here. Some
Are
of
they
them
in
come
town?
back with these drawings. No, they have moved on.
I see. Themselves? They just willingly gave them to you?
Of course. I collect such things, and most people know. So, they were happy to give it to me.
Can I do insight on that?
Hold on.
those.
You know what'd be really mad is
Okay.
if we come back and then it just Shay's dead.
All right. It says
It's like, and the end.
It's
It
like
says it's
wow, this
going.
guy's espionage is so tight.
All right.
says
You
it's
like
going.
All right, it says it's going. Then we will continue. Resonate and only has a black silhouette to it.
Copy. Oh, we're down again.
Oh, no!
Oh, now we're back.
We're back. We're recording either way, so.
Awesome.
All right,
I
well, at least we'll have that
started
up.
recording. Yeah.
Oh, ISP, will the issues never end? All right. So you guys are free. I imagine, does anybody else have any business within the mansion? Or are you guys going to gather up for this
do wanna
servant
talk-
musical gathering?
I do want to talk to V if it's a good deal or not.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, taking our walk outside. I'm going to speak Infernal because
Okay, just checking if that'd be like slightly better, but yeah.
I got like the main ones.
I got the main ones.
I think it's a bad deal.
And as we're saying this, just double checking. Oh.
I'm so hungry. You haven't killed anything in a day.
Okay.
Delicious. You have a blade.
It's a very
Half
patronizing sword.
might. Excuse me.
Excuse me, I have a +2 proficiency bonus.
Some skill. Yeah, I think the blade is officially patronizing.
I'm so sorry for interrupting, but I'm sorry. Please.
I have deemed you worthy to wield me, and you will benefit from my hunger. Just feed me.
It's hungry.
That doesn't sound like a good thing with cursed swords. So is it hungry for like
I guess I
Those
jumped the gun
puppies?
saying it was cursed. It could just be a regular sword that thirsts for blood.
okay, do you feel cursed? Do you feel okay?
No, but I do want to keep it.
That might not be a good thing. Will it take a mild maiming?
I would prefer murder.
It is very keen on the murder aspect.
Hold off for a day while we
I'm not
finish up
going
here?
to ask it, actually. I think it's going to not like that.
Okay.
Yeah, is there like an animal? Maybe I could.
Wait, I was gonna say, like, can we get some mice? Are there rabbits nearby? Because I got
first. Is there like a sheep or something?
a farm. I mean, we could go down to the kitchen, see if they have some chickens around.
Do you think you could best this one at swordplay? I bet you could.
Okay, yeah, no, it's we need to get it something.
Okay, let's go see if we can find a chicken to kill.
Yeah, we're gonna go kill some chickens.
We're gonna go kill some chickens.
and then we'll join up with the group.
Yeah, we'll put a pin in. Good talk about Greams. I think we can just needle him for a little bit more information. Hey, he says he has information. Make him show a little bit of information. Then we'd be good.
All right.
We're gonna go find a couple chickens.
Yeah.
Okay. As you guys go to find a couple chickens, there is a commotion just outside the governor's gate. You didn't pay up. Who's gonna keep you safe if you don't keep the Frontier Knights funded?
My little pointy ears twitch a little.
I gave you all I had, sir. I don't have anything else left to give. Then you're liable to wind up dead on the road. We protect this land. You will all be gone without us. You are unrighteous curs.
V, can we put a pin in the chicken as well? Because I think I need to go punch a man in the dick.
Nice.
Do you want to go? Do you want to help?
Could I stab him a little bit?
I bet we could stab him a little bit. I'm okay with that.
I think that's a great solution to both of our problems here.
I agree. This is great. We're so good at this. Good
excellent.
team V. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Hey, sorry. What's all this about extortion?
Nothing to do with you, fine lady. Just the frontier knights at work.
No, yeah, that does still involve me because I'm out here too.
This is outside of your jurisdiction. Stay behind your walls and your fine houses.
Yep, no, we don't have one of those. Okay.
We are already out here.
Yep.
We made it this far without people like you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to mess with me. I have this. And he shows off his Frontier Knight signet ring. It is known as a Troll's Blood Band. It gives Frontier Knights extra strength and regenerative abilities. Part of the early recruitment process. And as he waves it to you, he says, I serve a higher power. I punish those who are unworthy.
Fancy jewelry is meaningless out here. I mean, I should know because I'm like covered in it and it does me no good. So, no, it's not that impressive, buddy. Why don't you just leave this guy alone?
Oh, and you're gonna make me?
Yes, I am.
All right, would you like to do an intimidation or anything such thing behind that?
Yeah, I'll throw an intimidation behind that. Yeah. That's an 8. I swear to God, I'm good at charisma shit. I just roll like shit. I was hoping this curse would die with my last character, but no, I don't roll well here either.
I just sent you something, Puck, in Zoom chat.
I did see it. I'll talk to you some more about it. We're about to go to break.
Okay.
And this skull dagger that you have, Dulcinea,
Yeah.
sends a shudder through you.
Like a good one or a bad one?
Like a feeling of vengeance. And I'm just going to pause right there. We're going to go to break and see if our technical issues resolve.
Chat's going to have to let me know. From my side, it looks like maybe they've smoothed out, but I don't know. I did all about the limit of all the scrambling I can do. So chat, let us know if we are coming through
all right.
Nice and smooth. And we'll be back in 15 minutes.
Very well.
She said
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I like to take this moment at the midpoint of the show to say I'm a very lucky dungeon master because I get to play with all these cool people here. I would like them to tell you about the various ways in which they are cool and the cool things they're doing on the internet. Excuse me. Oh, my God. All right. Starting with reverse order. Merrick, tell us about yourself, Merrick.
Hey guys, I'm Michael. I'm the Deadless Gamer. I play Marek, the Goblin Bushranger, and you can find me over on twitch.tv/DeadlessGamer, where I do a whole bunch of cool RPG-related stuff. I don't only do Dungeons & Dragons, I do Pathfinder, I do Through the Breach, I do a bunch of one-page one-shots, whatever tickles my fancy, really. But in addition to that, I am on a bunch of different channels, being awesome and having fun, such as this one right here, where you can find my beautiful face, this right here. I'm also on the Careful Cantrip show as a regular cast member every Wednesday for the Australians, Tuesdays for the folks in the US. I'm also one of the regular members of the Tavern Guard for Quincy's Tavern over on their channel as well. In addition, I am currently on a really, really interesting project coming this Saturday in the Friday afternoon / Saturday early morning for me, I'm going to be converting one of my friends from D&D 5e to Pathfinder because I'm a mean person that way. And we're going to be doing a it's kind of a fundraiser. So not a fundraiser. We're just making money because we're going to go to PAX and we are broke. So basically what we're doing is we're making him his very, very first Pathfinder character. And every $100 he levels up. And then I run a game with whatever we end up with. And that's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be great. And if you want to go check that out, it's going to be on Robert Hartley GM's channel, who is the amazing GM behind Viva la Dirt League. And that's all I got going at the moment. And then if you're at PAX Australia, I'll be there. So come say hi if you're at PAX Australia.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Next up, V.
Hey, what's up? I'm Amelia Som. You can find me most places at Amelia Som or by going to links.ameliasom.com. Projects I have up. Mondays, podcasts. I am DMing Arc 10 of Unprepared Casters that I'll be running for the next 2 months. Wednesdays, a different podcast, playing Star Wars 5e, Gay Jedi. Yay! Fridays, live stream, Offbeat Outlaws. The Wednesday one is called Guild Fellows. The name is important because then that's how you find it. Friday, Offbeat Outlaws YouTube channel, playing a god of the passage of time who makes bad character decisions that are very fun for all of us at the table. I also have a bunch of random stuff happening if you just follow me on Twitter. I keep my pinned tweet updated with the things I'm in, so you can follow me in one place and then see where I am in the other places.
Thank you so much. We look for all of those things. I can't even keep track.
Me neither. My life is hell.
Dulcinea, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I have significantly less crazy schedule for the rest of this month. I'm here on Mondays and on Wednesdays at the same time slot, also here. You can catch me in the show run by our Dungeon Master Kai called Of Those Lost. I play a sweet cinnamon roll who's never done anything wrong in her entire life, and that is genuinely true. That's not a lie. Never done anything wrong ever.
I believe it.
It's a little bit spooky, and it's going to get spooky this week. So Wednesdays, you can turn in there. Otherwise, I have some stuff coming out in October, but it's a little soon to give dates and times. So until then, you can find me hanging out over my Twitter, which is Arcady Koshka, where I do cosplay and makeup and take a lot of cat pictures because I'm an introverted nerd.
You know what? I get that.
Yeah. What more is there in life besides D&D and cats? Nothing.
So true.
The things that enrich. Shay, tell us about yourself. What do you got going on?
Hi guys, I'm Utahime. You can find me on the social medias at Utahime Cosplay or Brianna DaCosta on Twitter. I'm up to lots of TTRPG shenanigans, much like my friends here at the table. Mondays, obviously, you can find me here. Every other Tuesday, you can find me over at the Red Hair Inn for Ecrium Expeditions, where I, too, play a cinnamon roll. She may have also, too, killed a few people. But you know what? There were circumstances. So, we're going to forgive it. And then Wednesdays, I'm over at the Open Circuit Studios for our Leverage TTRPG. It's been a blast. We get up to lots of crazy shenanigans. I play the Thief, their resident thief over there. It's been fun. I also, too, am a part of Team Nevermore over on Cyber Nation Uncensored, and that's going to be back soon. I believe October 15th, we're back for that Cyberpunk Red campaign, so definitely be sure to check it out. I'm going to be doing some other projects that will be posted on my social media, so just keep track there if you want to know. Also, too, I am community manager at the Initiative Order and also at Cyber Nation Uncensored, so I stay busy. So if you guys want to play some community games, run some games, or just be a player in some games, hit me up. I gotcha.
Hop on board. It's quite the offer. Next up, Trafer.
I'm exhausted listening to that. I'm Jonathan.
I'm so tired.
I play Trafer here. Big ol' orc guy. Just doing his job. Just here to do his job. I do other things, around the internet. There's my links. Check them out. I'm also the producer here
Sorry about the technical difficulties. Just to let you know, basically the only choice for internet in my area is Comcast. So direct all your complaints to Comcast. Is who you should tweet at about having garbage internet and monopolizing the industry. You can also find me on Wednesdays right here in that game, the aforementioned game, where I play a very good boy who I don't think has ever done anything wrong. Dulcinea's got personal gripes, but, tune in Wednesday to learn more about that. That's all I got.
All right. And I'm Puck. You might have noticed I don't have my usual surroundings. I'm on the road. But don't worry, I'll be back in my regular surroundings next week in less professional attire, I assure you. And you can find me on the Wednesday show of playing Gabbro Scoria. Who is a real stony dude, and he's so you can check me out on that. Other than that, you probably you can follow my quest to 100% achieve multiple games. Those streams will be coming back probably on Tuesday nights, and I'm going to be doing more world building streams for another future show. So look out for those on my channel, Puck in Talk, on YouTube, where I'll be doing those. And I've also got a couple other videos in the works, so look out for those. And that's what I've got going on. Thank you, friends, for sharing your projects. And thank you, viewers, for sticking with us in these choppy waves. But I believe it will be smooth sailing from here. Now, fingers crossed. So let's get back into it. When last we left our heroes, Lady Dulcinea and V had very hungry blades, and they had encountered a member of the Frontier Knights, an organization that does not have the best reputation in the Treasured Expanse, trying to shake down a local gentleman. So, Dulcinea, you've just attempted to intimidate this person. It hasn't gone well. And your dagger has sent a wave, just this deep feeling of vengeance through you.
Yeah, I'm going to pull up my rapier in one hand and the dagger in the other. And do you know why you're sent out here in the first place and not back on the nice, cushy continent?
To maintain order in these lands.
It's because no one will miss you when you die. Can I cast shit at him? Yeah. You know what? Let's go. I'm going to cast shit at him. For one, I'm going to cast Cutting Words as a bonus action. And let's cast Thunder Wave at 2nd level.
Okie dokie.
And so because of Cutting Words, he will have to roll a con save, but he'll have to take, where is my Cutting Words? Or Unsettling Words, I'm sorry. 1d6 off of his Constitution saving throw.
He fails his Constitution saving throw completely. Beautiful.
Let me...
What plan was this again?
This was plan B for this guy, actually. So Thunderwave at 7th level, or not 7th level, Jesus, 2nd level. He takes 17 thunder damage, and I believe he's pushed 10 feet away, and he's just pushed away.
All right. So he takes that damage, and he's pushed away, and you can see where the thunder wave hits him. His skin begins to split and his bones begin to break. And he doubles over, growling and gurgling as he spits up some blood. And you can see his muscles and his flesh pulsating underneath the wounds, and they begin to stretch and distort. No, not right now. And just peels off, runs away after your thunder wave.
Great, I'll take it. God, they're just so annoying out here. Nobody even wanted them in the war, and now they're even worse.
Thank you, miss. Thank you.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yes, I'm all right.
Do they do that a lot?
The frontier knights are frequently a problem out here.
And your governor doesn't take care of them, doesn't take care of you.
Well, he does provide some protection on his grounds and at the docks, but what happens in the town, he kind of leaves up to whoever wants to take charge.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make note of that because I think I know what I can ask him now for. Hi. Oh, hello.
There's a particularly bad group.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
They speak like preachers.
I didn't know they were moving in groups. Aren't they solitary?
Some of them are solitary, but somebody keeps making them. No one's recruiting frontier knights from the mainland anymore, yet somehow they never seem to die out.
Yeah, they were sent out here to die out.
Well, my cousin Topsy says that one of his nephews joined up with them.
Why? What are they offering?
They take the troll bands from fallen frontier knights and they pass them off to new ones. They promise you power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an easy sale to make in a land where people don't have much.
Yeah, until it bites them in the ass and they end up with their flesh falling off their bones. Well, hopefully that one won't be a problem anymore.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to get home now. I thank you for your assistance.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime. Yeah, I'm like mildly disturbed by all of this information. None of this is good.
Yeah, filing that away under.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna like pull out some of my paperwork and start writing. I'm specifically going to be writing to the Empress about this situation. So yeah,
Mr. Grames. All right, so we'll move forward a little bit to the gathering. Once you guys are all able to find each other and get together again on the governor's grounds.
Yeah, as soon as we are in a place where I feel like it's loud enough that somebody that it would hopefully drown out anyone listening in through whatever means they may.
Sure. Late in the evening, the servants are throwing a raucous party. There's lutes and drummers, and they're dancing and drinking and having a good time.
Yeah. I pull Merrick kind of close over. Hey, man. I've been trying not to say anything, because I figure there's just, like, ears everywhere. Like, maybe even the kind we can't see, you know?
But
Any idea what these guys, specifically the head guy, like sort of what his angle is and intentions? Because I gotta tell you, man, I've been thinking about some of the stuff you said. I've been kind of looking around at the situation, look at the various people we're like running into and stuff, and there's a possibility that we've just been like sent out here to die in service of something else.
Marek looks at you for the first time, like with like eyes of like, that's exactly what this is. I kind of figured that by this stage, with all the people being sent from the mainlands, you'd kind of been told. You know, there's a reason why there ain't that many two-way trips from the mainland, if you catch my meaning.
Well, yeah, but I mean, look, I figure they were pretty upfront about the danger involved, you know? And I think everybody coming over here kind of knows what they're getting into, especially with this little competition thing. But what's got me kind of tripped up is the more I think about it, the more I look at it, the more I learn what people know around here. It seems like being the one to go first is not the way to win this. And it's kind of weird that they tried to get us to go before everybody else.
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're saying. Normally, it's the canary that goes into the mine to make sure it's safe. And the canary, well, he don't win out in that story.
Are there cave monsters that eat canaries or something?
Yeah, let's go with that. Look, Trafer, I really do think you're onto something. And, that's why, folks like this, people who make that kind of scratch enough to live in, like, mansions and pioneering towns and stuff like that, you don't walk around with that much money without a lot of blood on your hands, Maybe it may not be your hands that spill it, but you rest assured, everyone who's worth their salt here are people who build themselves up with their own two hands,
Yeah.
And, I don't know, meeting that first governor, seeing that the effect it had on his mind, and looking at the one that's here, it's just, look, I don't know about you, but the moment that they asked me to do this job, and we got what is effectively an archaeologist, a diplomat, a banker, and then, of course, your fine self here. This ain't exactly the people I'd be sending in to go test to see if, the waters are murky, if you know what I mean. This ain't really the most, well, how can I put this gently? Look, when that creature started attacking and stuff like that, the bandits and all this stuff, everyone could hold their own.
Sure.
Which is great. But don't you think it's weird that we had tickets already kind of provided for us on that voyage, and it just so happened the band that we were attacked by bandits and the beastie, I mean, even on the waterways, river travel is plentiful enough without us ramming into something like that. This ain't coincidental. It ain't accidental. As to the why, I mean, look, maybe Shay's got some enemies back in the mainland. Maybe Dulcinea has been fulfilled in terms of, like, all of the courtly stuff that's happening, and someone needs to, get out there. And, I don't know, maybe V's got a jealous ex-boyfriend. Whatever the case is, right? It may not necessarily be that we were sent out here to, like, test out and kill something, like to be the ones, like, to go out there and die. Maybe there might be something more to it. Maybe, I've been thinking about this for a while. Maybe there's, rather than us being expendable, maybe there's some sort of intentional hand looking for someone in this small group of people that we're traveling with. And that hand seems to just constantly be swatting at us left and right.
What exactly do you mean by your wonderful self? Like, how do you see me sort of in the group?
Look, I thought, when we started, I thought you were the only other person who was going to be muscle here, and then you tell me you're a librarian?
I mean,
look.
That's sort of like the world I grew up in, but, like...
Dude, I have been in avalanches with rocks smaller than you.
Alright.
You are a big fella, and we use the talents that we are given, right, to survive. It's just the nature of people, okay? Some people, okay, they're little, they get into small places, like me, okay?
Yeah.
And other people, they what appears to be a smile can make a grown man piss themselves, and that's what I see when I see you, But hey, between you and me, you're gentle, you're kind, you're very, very thoughtful, and you're definitely far more than that. But it kind of solidified the suicide element of the suicide mission when I found out that you were an inside guard. It's like, I want a guard dog, not the inside dog. It's not calling you a dog, just, I'm trying to...
it kind of sounds like you are. To be completely
Well, look.
honest, it kind of sounds like you're...
Look, yeah. I like animals, okay? Like, sure. This is the nicest I'm gonna be, okay?
Right. Do you, You saying you don't think I can fight?
I'm saying when it comes to a fight, okay? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's strike first, and then there's like, you know, ask questions a million times. And when we're in the treasured expanse, you know, you need people who are like, you know, like always sharp and on point, you know. Well, I say that. But then, of course, that's when we're talking about like natural disasters. We're not talking about someone trying to assassinate someone here.
Sure.
But you know, I mean, he's kind of at this point looking up Trafer up and down, and he's like, hey, you know, I saw you move when we were on the boat.
Yeah.
You did good, man. You did good. You did. The big axe thing, just claving through things. You know, you can definitely fight.
Yeah.
You can definitely fight. But there are some fights that. Yeah, go on.
You're a ranger. You ever hunt anything real dangerous? You ever hunt a bear?
Yeah, I've hunted a bear. Hunted some wolves, you know, deer, bears.
You ever wrestle one?
Ever wrestle a bear?
You ever wrestle a bear?
Look, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't added that to my my list of things to do. Haven't wrestled a bear.
Trafer, like, untucks part of his shirt and pulls it up and shows a big, like, scar next to his ribcage.
Should have seen the other guy.
Look, I'm not saying that's not impressive. That's exactly what I'm talking about, though, right? I know you can fight. I know you're scary as hell. But why are you fighting a bear? Why are you wrestling it? You know what I did with my bear? I shot it from a hill that it couldn't climb until it stopped moving. You want to see my scars? These scars here are from brambles, bushes, you know, and when I mess up. And that's kind of what my scars mean. It's the lessons I learned.
Yeah. This one's a trophy.
Because I don't want scars. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the difference is I don't see scars as trophies, right? I don't brag about the things that I failed at. I use them to get better.
I mean,
I ain't gonna get
fighting
another
that
one.
bear is all I'm saying. Point is,
You made money fighting the bear? What kind of bear was this? Was this a circus bear?
I mean, I guess
Trafer.
well, I guess once they catch it, it's technically a circus bear. But by the time I read it, it had been a circus bear for like a week, and it was hungry as fuck. That's a part of the whole thing. You don't really get the bragging rights unless it's hungry.
And they call us savages. Okay. Look, I don't mean to insult you. I don't mean to say that I don't think you're strong. I'm just talking pure survivability here. That's
Right.
it. Just pure, you know, and like I said, if someone's coming after us on top of all the dangers that we're facing, we're in a lot of trouble, you know. And I'd like someone to take a moment to go, hey, you know what we shouldn't probably do? We probably shouldn't be in a town filled with people that want to cut our throats, or you know, hey, this is really, you know, like violent group of sociopaths that's around. Maybe we should just lay low, you know.
And on
like,
that note, Dulcinea, Shay,
Finally
and
beat the
V arrive.
Show up.
Dulcinea,
Segue.
fresh off of magically blasting a dude in an alleyway.
Without, like, you can't even tell. Like, there's, like, not even a hair out of place. Just.
and V with a blade slick with chicken blood.
Was it happy? Did it enjoy its little chicky snack?
It is. It's like once you were done, in your mind, you heard from the blade. This is embarrassing. I am gonna need you to get into sword fights with more worthy opponents very soon.
I will see what I can do.
This condescending sword is going to need a name at some point. I am just going to throw that one out there.
I'm
Very good
I'll
NPC.
waiting. If I name, I'm just waiting for the name to come to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was known as Essence Needle.
Essence Needle?
Yes.
Essence Needle. Okay. I think we need to do some rebranding there.
You don't You don't like my name.
It's a fine name. I do think it is an echo, perhaps, of a different time, and we might want something that is
I think
more.
the person who names me has killed at least 3 more people than you have.
I mean, with your sword. Wait, did that bandit name you Essence Needle? Is that what you're telling me? And that bandit killed a total of 3 people.
I'm just saying.
That's the bar? I can kill 3 people. You've known me for a day.
I'm just
Did she know you for 3 days?
That's someone who is naming me this sword that drains the life, the essence from its victims, should be more proficient in murder. And frankly, I'm just, you showed great potential in our first meeting.
The meeting where I killed at least 1/3 of your previous owner's body count?
There was more than that. I'm just giving you a goal to strive for.
I don't need your... No, you know what? I'm calling you Frederick.
Just please stab something soon.
When I'm good and ready. And then I don't talk to the sword again.
Into the scabbard.
Imagine we just witnessed this one-sided conversation.
Does anyone else smell a foul, pungent odor of of meat on some type of barbecue or something?
Foul is correct. There was a chicken involved.
No.
Several.
It smells like some type of burning of a flesh.
Cooking?
Yeah.
I don't know where it's coming from. Did something catch fire?
It's a barbecue, miss. We like to cook outdoors when the weather's nice.
Oh,
good. Not somebody's face being.
interesting.
We just needed something to do with all of the dead chickens.
Oh, why are we what I'm sorry. I must have missed some things. Do you mind filling me in?
Sure. Do you speak Infernal? Or
I
Deep
do
Speech?
not.
Do you know Deep Speech or Sylvan?
I do not. I speak different languages, but none of them are
Honestly, like
Draconic, Elvish, Giant, Leonin, and Orc. That's what
actually
you got.
like for party reasons. That makes a lot of. That's very good. And we have diverse. We come across ancient texts and manuscripts as
Of
one does. We're
course.
very well suited.
Of course.
So V is just going to say, "Okay, Shay.
Mhm.
I need you to react to this as just normally, not normally, as subtly as you can. My sword thirsts for blood."
Oh,
Yeah, the one that I picked up. Mm-hmm.
that's perfectly normal. Very normal. And you're keeping said peace. Yes?
Yeah, for now, unless it becomes a problem, then I haven't tried to get rid of it, so I hope that's not difficult. Honestly, right now, we're not on the best of terms with each other, so we'll see how the partnership progresses.
May I take a look at the individual, the thing?
Yeah, you can look over the sword, sure. Yeah, I'll get it.
What do I see again on this particular scabbard?
So it has a big handguard on it, kind of caged handguard on it. And it's decorated with a wide variety of jewels. kind of lavishly decorated, and has this kind of long, thin blade to it.
And did we already figure out or establish the exact like what this is tied to, or if it's like the type of pact that is a permanent one? Would Shay be able to investigate said detailing to figure that out if she saw it somewhere?
It's a very fancy blade. Certainly you've seen kind of enchanted blades like this before. You're not certain of where exactly this one's origins are from. The make of it makes you think it was manufactured possibly in Caligarn, but it is a sentient blade.
Oh.
Anything interesting? Didn't really look into it.
I think we would need to really look into it to make sure it's not a permanent pact with it for you and it. But I'm not. Who knows? Maybe it's just constantly craving, as they say, and it won't affect you in the slightest.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
We'll keep notes. I'll keep notes, and if anything changes, you and I can sort of figure that out. I feel like we're probably both the most arcane-minded here.
I believe that's a fine assessment, and I will keep you informed if I come across more details. I know this is from Caligarn, but I do not know its origins yet. But I should be able to figure that out soon.
Also, let me know if you notice any sudden changes in my behavior or anything like that. So
she opens her book and she starts writing notes again. Noted. It's like day one.
Day one.
She's like
parted their hair in on the opposite side of their head. What does this mean?
Hopefully you know what you started. Hopefully you know what you started.
Oh, great.
All right. So you guys have all gathered back together. The servants' party is going off. Do you guys report anything else to each other? Or?
By the time everyone shows up, Trafer's started telling the bear story. So that when they find a problem, because normally you just want to let a bear be a bear, right? But when they have a problem bear, and normally they would hunt. Sometimes they're like, well, let's see if we can train it as a battle mount. So the generals occasionally come with the bear, and they're like, all right, who wants to wrestle the bear? Who wants to subdue the bear? It's the whole fucking thing. So yeah.
Did you try to at least talk to the bear? Have a conversation instead of just wrestling with it.
I imagine that in that...
me down like a horse, yeah, but...
No, I mean, they can talk and conversate with you.
I kind of imagine in that moment, both Trafer and Marek just kind of look at Shay in the same way, like...
Oh, you've never talked to a bear before? Interesting.
You know, like magic.
Yeah, I don't generally talk to my food.
Oh, I thought that more people had that ability. But I guess maybe it's just a gift. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, no, I speak like Common and Orcish and like Sylvan, Leonin. But I didn't know bears had a language. I thought that just like it was a magic spell you had to do. I didn't know you could just like talk. I didn't know you could learn bear. I'd be down to learn bear. That'd be pretty
believe
cool.
it is like an arcane connection, but bears, you'd be surprised. They actually are very genteel creatures, but when put in those situations, they become quite formidable foe. So there's no surprise. I mean, it was captured and taken from its home that it would react in such a way, doing tricks and whatnot. And none of you asked if it wanted to do that, to stand on top of a ball or do whatever it is that they were doing with it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't standing on it stood on my balls for a minute, like when it almost had me pinned. But I got it flipped over.
What circus is this?
It's not a circus.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a circus bear.
No.
Nah, that's just what we got. Look, that's just what I call bears when they ain't in the wild. You know, you catch a bear, you shackle it up. Look, it's far different to how you would handle a wild bear. I mean, like, it's still impressive, right? I ain't saying that it's not impressive, right?
Well,
I'm just saying, you know, like, the fight's gonna kick out of you when you know that you're in
pretty wild when we fought, alright, and I did manage to pin it, and then we shared a big rack of lamb, as is tradition. So, like, it was fine. Me and the bear both had a big meal. It was a good time. Is this not a thing that they do in other, like, you never heard of this before?
Oh, no, nowhere.
Have like
nowhere
bear markets, but I don't think that's what you think it would be.
Bear market? Like where they buy and sell bears? That's not cool.
That sounds
Or it might be, I
awful.
mean, hey, if they're talking bears, maybe it's a place where bears sell honey and berries.
Yeah,
I mean,
the bears,
geez.
like, are they the merchants? Is that how it... Do you talk to bears?
No.
Oh, good. I was worried that for a second maybe we weren't the... Yeah, I was worried for a second that maybe we weren't the only ones that couldn't talk to bears. I mean...
Yeah. No. But... Yeah.
He
yeah.
says that she does not speak with bears.
Oh, Dulcinea, I was thinking about our conversation earlier for things that we would need from the governor, and I have I wrote out like a list of supplies, and it's basically so I can in character build my little steel defender that I get. My little guy. I need to make him.
So I do have a question.
Components.
What are the length, since we're keeping things hush hush, I'm sure that I'm not the only one who has certain apprehension about a certain individual here?
The governor himself?
Yes. Should we speak in another language? I don't know.
Yeah, if there's enough noise cover, I'll just kind of
Are
leave
we
it to
okay?
everyone. I wouldn't bet on any particular language being off limits. The way if they have a scrying wizard in here, you gotta assume that just everything's being heard.
Oh, the entire house is covered in scrying and divination magic.
Oh, and the governor himself has so many magical items I couldn't even focus properly.
Look, I don't mind saying this out loud, or if anyone hears. He can be kind of smarmy, but he's clearly well established himself out here. There's a town, his house is nice, he's collected artifacts, he's made very good of himself out here. Smarmy doesn't mean they're a bad person, it just means they're kind of pretentious to deal with. I think he's trustworthy enough for what we need. I don't think we're in any danger here. Once we get outside the town is another story, but I don't think there's anything to worry about from Greams himself.
Yeah, I agree. I think the governor's a great guy, real smart, really runs a tight ship around here.
I'm not quite sure. I ran across a room that had different drawings on parchment and different depictions and of places that I've never seen before. I have made some copies of them. I'll show you later, hopefully without scrying eyes. And he showed me a very disturbing book by one of his many travelers, people who he sent on these various tasks or missions, who returned maybe not of right mind, but he doesn't seem to care. I definitely agree with what you said about Swami, but some of these people, who knows what happened to them? Well, every time I asked where they were or if they returned safely, oh, they went off and meh. But he didn't have any direct answers. They were always just travelers, people who worked for him. They seemed disposable.
Yes, that's who everyone out here is. Everyone comes out here is disposable. if any of you have a problem with that, you can stop right now and go no further and turn around. But Shay, I think you need to make peace with the fact that we're on a really ridiculous mission, and it's not safe, and there's horrible things that no one understands out there. That's partially why people are interested in what's out there. None of this is safe.
Marek will scoff at Dulcinea, but hold his tongue.
Oh, no, please speak up, Merrick. I said when we first met that I would prefer you to question my leadership if you have anything you're wondering about.
Yeah, look, this whole disposable, non-disposable, all that nonsense, that's city talk, you know.
Is it?
I get where it's coming from. Because, you know, I get that, you know, in order to really conceptualize the idea of being part of something big and grand, you have to turn the little guy into a little guy. But I'm already a little guy. And the one thing I've learned since being out here is no one is expendable. And that if you want to survive out here, the one thing you gotta do is you gotta have each other's back. That means you don't cut your leg off in order to let the others escape. It means you don't leave your friends behind, because that just means you've got less and less and less until eventually everything is taken away from you. The only time that doesn't apply is when you have so much that it don't matter what falls off your plates. That's why I hate working with people like the governor, because they've always got scraps, and those scraps tend to look like folks like you and me.
It's very interesting to hear you say that, Merrick, because from the rumors I've heard, haven't all of your previous party members died?
Marek takes a moment. He says, Yeah, they have. And they all had that same one thing in mind. If they didn't get what they were looking for, they'd rather die fighting for it. I didn't leave those folks behind. They refused to live, because the option of doing so was far more terrifying. They tell you very easily about all the people I left behind, but they don't tell you about the people I saved. There's this one small encampment just out west, base of the foothills. It was cold, not so cold as the winters that came in, but cold enough that the passageways between the nearest town were all blocked off by a mudslide. I told the others that we needed to stop and make camp, that we couldn't push forward because we had one of our members, little asthmatic kid, tiny robot chicken. Didn't want to hear it. They wanted to push us forward. So we pushed, and we pushed, until it broke. I couldn't let him go. I couldn't let him die. I couldn't let the greed of these other people take down one little pup who was barely out of diapers. Yeah, they died in them hills. And everyone tells that story. And I'm fine with that. But I know how important people are. Especially in a place like this. And I have the scars to prove it.
A fine story.
Ah, Jesus.
I apologize. I do occasionally sneak up on people. And it occurs to you all now that the music, the people, everything has become very quiet as the governor has appeared. In Caligarn, we believe that importance is something that is earned. We have a system It serves us well. Independents, workers, they have not earned their importance. Even the startups are among the lowest tier. You all have earned your importance. That is what sets you apart from others. It is indisputable. That is why you've been handed this charge. Have you had time to think about my proposal?
We have, and I think it's time that you earn your importance with us, too. Because your proposal is quite reasonable, with some addendums. Because you, and I'm saying this with everyone around, too. Like, I'm not making a secret of saying this in front of all of his workers. If you seek to start and maintain outposts in the uncharted northern area along the rivers, I need to know that you can hold them. And I'm not convinced because there's some messes here that are putting your own people in danger. I'm not sure you have earned it yet. Governor, you have a Frontier Knight problem. Clean up your mess so your people stop getting murdered and shaken down. Then I will believe that you are capable and have earned the right to maintain those most northern outposts.
A harsh indictment of my work here.
Is it a false
shrewd
one, though?
tactic. Certainly not. They are workers, and I afford them the consideration that they deserve. This is the culture of my homeland. This is the way that I know.
You're not in your homeland anymore, and you have to work with all of us here.
Very well. Merlessa, tighten security around the workers' homes. See to it that no Frontier Knights make it within the town again.
Sounds like a very good deal. Also,
Separate
V has
the
some
dock
components
security.
she would like to.
It's like point of view. I got you.
No, we're just sliding it in right as he's signing on the dotted
just right
line.
at the end.
We got this.
Yeah, also this stuff, you're like, you don't even need to look at it. Just
No, whatever you've asked for, I have not even looked at. I'm just agreeing that yes, we're gonna get it for you.
Very well. I think we can find agreement in this.
I think you were off to a good start, earning your reputation as the Lord of the Rivers in the Treasured Expanse then.
Thank you. You have addressed me honestly and stripped down my insecurities and the things that I allowed to slip and laid them bare.
I don't like lying to people out here. It complicates things. We don't have the luxury of hiding these things about ourselves. Either you find your failings and address them, or you die. So I appreciate you noticing the cracks in your defenses and looking out for your people.
Interesting assessment. The Frontier Knights are a problem. I do hope you will deal with any that you find on your journey.
Naturally, they're a problem to Saskatoon, too.
Of course. All good people in the Treasured Expanse. They are not what they were intended to be. So, now that we have an accord, I have some information for you.
Wonderful.
I am keeping track of the prince, who is an unseen cost of doing business for him. He is far along, making his way across the fickle tundra as of late, but he is stalled. Something is slowing him. Also, someone is trying to restart the war.
Who would that benefit?
There are groups here in the settlement, in this new world, that believe these old rivalries served a purpose. who believe that this conflict will give this land proper order, that it belongs to some and not the rest. These people are watching the prince very closely.
It's foolish to think that will bring anything other than more chaos.
Some people like chaos, Lady Dulcinea. It is peace that shapes them.
Well, guess the prince has that to worry about on himself then.
We all have that to worry about. If war comes to the treasured expanse, if the old rivalries are ignited and the peace breaks, it will be bad for everyone. We are only able to hold on here because the empires are cooperating. Make no mistake, if we break, this land will take us. That is my advice to you, and the knowledge I have to share. And one more thing. V, inform your boss. Mr. Fahrenheit has brought his airship to the treasured expanse. Unauthorized, I'm certain.
Fascinating.
Keep an eye out. He's a difficult one to deal with, as I'm sure you know. I trust Mr. Calaby will resolve the issue.
How the fuck are we supposed to compete with an airship?
Not head on.
I mean, there's also an airship. I mean, just saying. Might be a nice, cozy way to get across if one might be able to, say, liberate said airship.
Only if you want to restart that war when they see who shows up in it.
Well, we don't need to show up in it. I mean, it might meet an unfortunate accident. Maybe crash just outside of what we need.
Things do go missing all the time here. Could just be misplaced.
I
Yeah.
would be
Believe.
careful
Yes.
when dealing with Mr. Fahrenheit. He has been assassinated at least 12 times.
We also have no idea what the skies are like here.
Yeah, can you fly, Merrick? I know
Yeah,
you're pretty good with a
Does
cart,
anyone know how
but
to
can you...
fly an airship? Let's back
I'm-
up.
I could probably figure it out. I'm mostly talking about all of the weird magic throughout here.
I have land vehicle. I don't have air vehicle, but I would be very keen to learn. I'm a quick study when it comes to.
I am an engineer.
So ready.
Well, this is a problem for future us. Can't do much about it now. Deal with it when we find it.
Of course. Rest up for the night. I have a ship ready to take you to Guardian Falls, and then to the end of the Guardian Rivers, to set you out onto the fickle plains.
Thank you, that is incredibly generous of you.
I trust you will find it adequate. I've also added a couple of extra supplies for all of you. It will be stowed in the ship when you collect it in the morning.
That
You
is
backed the right team, Governor.
I should hope so. Well, good night to you all. Thank you for joining me in my humble abode. And he walks off, and after he goes into the distance, the music slowly sets up again.
I visibly smack my head off the table after doing that.
As soon as the
And
music
slump again. Yeah.
starts back up. So obviously, anything he gave us is probably bugged, right?
we'll do a sweep.
hmm
But if even regardless of whether or not it's bugged, if he's familiar with it, he can scry on it. So we should be careful. But food is food.
It will also only be taking us so far. Once we get out of the known riverways, we're going to be on our own.
If somebody gives me some specific identifiable food, and then I eat it, can they scry on me or just the food? Would they get
If
like
you
an
eat it-
internal, like a view of the inside of my stomach, or would they be able to see me?
I think if you eat it, it doesn't work.
Is it, oh, because it's like a different thing then?
Yeah, your mouth and your stomach acids have started digesting it. I feel like it wouldn't count if you were scrying on a person. Well, I guess that would kill them. That's the thing. If you're scrying on a book and you set it on fire, if you tried to scry on it, you just wouldn't see it. You don't necessarily
Why are we
see ashes.
setting books on fire? No.
We're not. Oh, it was a hypothetical.
Theoretically, Shay, have you read Melf's theories on the identity of objects as it pertains to these sort of spells?
I believe I have.
And
Yes,
I think we
Merrick?
break into a very academic.
Yeah, Merrick's going like not even like letting 2 rounds go in. I'm going to Merrick's going to jump off the chair, like straighten up his hat, and he kind of looks over at Dulcinea, just has a kind of a look of like, kind of like that I'll be back, kind of like I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to go, but I'll be here.
I'll keep an eye on the door, but I'm going to surround myself with the workers and like try and get in good with them because I think I just did them a favor too.
Yeah. And I'm going to go see a man about a crossbow.
Very well.
Columbus Quint, I think
Yes,
his name was.
Glombus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Glombus Quint. All right. So if everybody else has their gathering and their discussion for the night, Merrick, you track down Glombus Quint's shop well enough. It has a number of different things. Just like there's bizarre gears everywhere. There's steam coming out of multiple ports of his place. Ah, my friend.
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Good to see you still kicking about.
Of course. Hard at work for you. I trust that you considered my offer.
Let's just say that this job looked like it was getting a lot more dangerous than I originally anticipated, and maybe some extra help ain't entirely a terrible idea.
Of course. Now then, I just need to know one thing. When you do battle, I got to see a little bit of it on the ship. Do you prefer to be really close, far, or really far?
Look, the further I am from danger, the better it is for me. That being said, I don't like to get too far away from being able to help my companion. You might have seen it on the ship. Is the wyvern that I travel with.
Right, the fire wyvern.
Yeah.
I see. Well, I think I may have something for you. All right. And he pulls out a long apparatus. All the way up. It has this long, thin metal barrel to it, and this complex mechanism of levers and triggers near the handle. This is designed to be shot at quite a range. It takes a little bit of time to load, but I think you will find it quite useful. Oh, and the extendoscope. And he quickly screws on a what looks like a spyglass to the top of it.
I'll peer through it and then kind of adjust my eyes because I'm just looking at like a wall that's just there. It's just like...
Yeah, don't look at the wall. It's to see longer distances, to give you better accuracy at a range.
It's a bit heavy.
Oh, I'm sure you'll grow into it.
And how am I supposed to put bolts in this?
You load it up through the top. There's a tamping rod hidden in the barrel. And there's a little area that folds open. You pull out a rod.
I'll start to pull out like one of my crossbow bolts and like try to jam it into the end of it. Like
No, not. Oh dear. No, not that. Here, I have these small iron balls, and he hands you a pouch full of them. You load these in here with an amount of this powder, and he hands you a horn of powder. Don't load too much, or you may blow up the entire apparatus. Keep it away from flames.
I'm gonna try and load it. Like I'm like as he's saying it, I'm like just kind of like trying to get into the rhythm of it and like
he runs you through it.
Yeah. And as I load it, I'm gonna kind of like look at it up and down. Is there anything to target in here?
Yeah, he's got like straw-filled targets that you can line up on there.
Yeah, cool. I'm going to try and wing one of these straw-filled targets.
All right, give me a straight D20 roll.
That is a 15.
All right, you hit it, and there's like as straw and dust go everywhere, and it goes right through it and into the back wall.
Nice. This makes a lot of noise, but well, I can't argue with the results. I'm gonna look at the injury, which I imagine is quite substantial compared to like a crossbow.
It's very small in the front and very big in the back.
Merrick's impressed.
I hope you will use it well and tell everyone it came from Glombus Point.
Can I call it the Point action? I mean, do you have a name for this thing?
Well, I was going to call it a Point Fire Stick.
Point Fire Stick. I'm gonna call it a Point Stick.
Yeah, that's probably catchier.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll be sure to let everyone know where I got this from, and be sure to send business your way.
Certainly, and if it does happen to come apart on you, say you got it from one of my competitors.
Yeah, no, I get you. Don't suppose you have any more of those little tiny balls of iron? You know, like I don't imagine we're gonna find too many of these out in the expanse while we're out there.
I've got a pouch of 20 made that I can give you.
That'll do.
And there should be enough powder in the horn for that many shots.
Cool. I'll pack them up and say, no, Merrick's not that smart. I'd be like, well, actually, no, maybe he would be. I'm resourceful. Would you happen to have a recipe for the black powder?
Trade secret.
If
you need more, send me a message or a raven. I will see if I can acquire more for you.
Great. No, this is absolutely perfect. Now, I hate to be a bother, you know, just because you've already been so generous here, but I'm also kind of in the market for some like kind of like saddle kind of gear for meat there. You know, something that's a little bit more flame retardant. You know, riding on top of meat's a little bit difficult when when he's on fire.
Saddle gear. I don't have anything here, but a friend of mine does manufacture goods out in the tundra. He puts them primarily through Far Reach Post. Speak with the gentleman there. Tell him Glombus Point sent you. I'm certain you will find something.
All right, well, thank you kindly. I'll definitely be making good use of this. He says, looking this very strange point stick up and down. I am calling you my gunsmith.
Be careful where you put that thing. Okay, had to.
All right. So Merrick acquires his point stick. Everybody else gets to hang out with the servants and party up for the night. Dulcinea does receive quite a bit of accolades from the workers. In fact, the group of you guys, because you all seemed to be a bit sympathetic to their plight over the somewhat callous Caligarnian way of looking at things when it comes to business hierarchy.
Yeah. Do you have unions? Because
Do it.
because look, it's very rare that one person can just walk in and do what I did. I'm kind of shocked it worked, but there's about 100 of you in this town. You can stand up to him.
Unions aren't popular in Caligarn.
You're not in Caligarn anymore.
Realistically, how long would it take him to restaff if you all just left? You know, think about it.
It is hard to find people out here.
Does Greams know how to feed himself, hunt, mend his own clothes, protect himself? Can he fight? Sure, he's good at business, but out here, business is maybe a third of what needs done.
V does not hear this. V is not interacting. I'm sure V is like done union busting. I do not see it.
Just think about it. You got major leverage. Like, you're
More than you
straight
think
up
you do.
wilderness, you know? He's basically just a guy in a big house in the middle of a fucking haunted wilderness. If you guys bail him.
Shay is writing in her notepad. V appears to have strong feelings about unions.
Drinking.
All right. And the seeds of revolution are sown.
My work here is done.
Do I
Seasoning
have
of the world.
do I have a way to talk to Figurant Callerby?
Most of the time he reaches out to you, but there is a kind of translate state that you can go into where you connect to the Feywild and you can reach out to him. Whether or not he responds is anyone's guess.
Can I like leave him a voicemail?
Sure.
Yeah. If I may, I'd like to just kind of sit back and reach out, and I will flag for Shay that this is a normal thing I do sometimes to communicate. And I will say, oh, I guess it's not necessarily 25 words, but I'll keep it brief.
Yeah.
Mr. Fahrenheit has brought an airship to the Treasured Expanse, according to Governor Kartwright. Something tells me Kartwright will have rocky waters in Heaven's Gate. Which is, if everyone unionizes, it might be a time to edge them out if you want, but I'll just say there's rocky waters ahead.
As you go into this state, V, something unusual happens. You open your eyes and you're in the Feywild. And you hear something run through the brush behind you.
I will instinctively look over my shoulder.
You look over your shoulder and you catch the edges of a shadow running into the bushes. And then you hear it again, moving in another direction around you.
I'm not going to move, like jerk back and forth, but I'm going to just listen to see if I can triangulate where it's moving or if it seems to be in several places. I'm trying to see if this is real or a mind thing.
As you try to triangulate it, you hear it coming towards you. And as you open your eyes, a humanoid figure is rushing up to you. He is dark. And he begins to scream, "Who are you? Where am I? I'm so hungry. Where am I?" And as he runs up to you, you awaken, and you're back where you were in the governor's house.
Okay, so actually that was not a normal thing.
Oh. What occurred then? Is it hungry again?
Yes.
Is what hungry?
V looks quizzically and is just going to grab pen and paper and like waking up from a vivid dream, write down everything that just happened. And I'll write it in Sylvan because that's just my first language.
Draper is definitely looking over your shoulder as you write this.
Can you read Sylvan?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fine. I'm not writing it. V's not like trying to like hide it, but I think it's just like an instinctive thing of like, why would I write my dream journals in my second language?
Oh wait, I have comprehend languages, so that means that also too written, not just oral, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, if you.
Woo.
Yeah,
I almost forgot that was written. Okay.
V is just kind of like sitting and like we'll just hand the paper to the two of you that describes the dream.
Is that new?
Yes.
Do you know the person?
I did not recognize them.
Huh.
Were you familiar with the area?
I mean, it just looked like any area, not a place in particular.
To communicate in such a way, there's usually some sort of connection. This is quite interesting.
Don't like that.
So, with that, if you guys have no further business, you're able to have a good night's sleep, as much as any of you can get sleep in a place like this. And the ship is ready for you to depart in the morning. It is another 2 days upriver to the Guardian Falls. The ship that you have is being magically propelled. And as you approach Guardian Falls, the town of Guardian Falls, next to this, so Guardian Falls has this enormous rocky plateau to the north, and this large waterfall comes down the center of it that feeds the rivers that part to both sides. You can see it in the distance, the spray that it gives off as you approach. And as you approach it, you can see that across the river, this large town has formed, and frequently small boats move from the town to the waterfall. And water genasi and other elemental magicians part the waters of the falls, revealing a large mine shaft that allows people to enter in as they go past the waterfall. As you approach this town and get ready to make dock with your ship, you notice all over the place there are posters. Posters stating that the Shrouded Hills fighting champion will be crowned tonight. And we're going to stop right there.
Huh.
Thank you all so much for joining us. Who will it be?
V. It's gonna be V.
It's going to be V. It's
Probably.
going to be V.
I'm so strong. I'm so strong, guys. You don't even
And her-
know.
It's the
And her
bear.
hungry
It's the
sword.
bear.
And
It's
my
the
hungry
bear.
sword.
The sword is so hungry.
That's that fucking
Uh,
bear.
It's so thirsty. It's embarrassing, honestly.
Very needy.
Get a hold of yourself. God.
Like,
Frederick,
oh my
get a
god,
hold
you're
of yourself.
scaring the host.
If you want me to keep bringing you places, you really got to get your shit together, Sword.
Just can't
Yeah.
be looking so desperate all of the time.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. Thank you to my incredible players for letting me steep them in intrigue of this world. And they have so many questions, and I'm so eager to answer them throughout this journey. And you too can have the answers to those questions by joining us and following and watching and subscribing and doing all of those things. And we certainly appreciate all your support in watching and keeping track of our adventures. Thank you guys. There's no show without you guys. Thank you again to my incredible cast. We'll see you guys next time. Tune in Wednesday for Of Those Lost. And until next time, everyone, beware last light.
It's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D. We all agreed to play some D&D. That means role-playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles, maybe it's just me. You guys won't? No, we won't. You guys just don't? No, we don't. Follow a single plotline through and through. I'm not complaining, but instead of gaming, you find the weirdest other things to do. There was adventure, but you guys wouldn't venture. Instead you said the mountains looked real nice. Middle of winter, you went to the hinter, lands of permafrost and frozen ice. You hid from every danger, you wizard, rogue, and ranger, and found the perfect valley for your quest. In the lands of no man, you guys built a snowman and said that this adventure was the best. It's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D, it's D&D. We all agree to play some D&D. That means we're playing, fighting and slaying, solving puzzles, maybe it's just me. You guys